Angelo. I'm Whitney Wood, Executive Director of Communications for San Angelo ISD. And today we have the pleasure of being with Mr. Lanny Layman. He's a local businessman that has been serving on the San Angelo ISD Board of Education for over 20 years. And in that time, not only as a trustee, but also as Vice President and President of the board. So today we're going to speak to Lanny, learn a little bit more about why he chose to serve on the board and his motivations. So Lanny, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I was born and raised. I wasn't born here. I was born in Pecos, Texas, but I got here when I was a year old. And so I'm a product of SAISD. And when I moved back here in 1996, back to San Angelo, I decided that it might be something I wanted to do. There were a lot of things going on in the school that I wasn't really happy about. I was uninformed, so I wanted to be more informed. And I thought it might, because of my business background and a number of other things that I had experience with, that I might be able to serve as a trustee. So I chose to run at that particular time. And then I think once you run, you kind of gets in your blood, and really it takes you a little while to get to know as much as you should or as much as you'd like to about the school district. So experience means a lot to our board team. So I just kind of stuck around for 20 plus years.
Well, we appreciate you lending your expertise in business. You said, you're a retired entrepreneur or businessman from the community. And you also, don't you have some kiddos that graduated from San Angelo ISD?
I do. I went to McGill and then went to what's now Lone Star Middle School. And then I went to Central, and then both of my daughters, we moved back here and they went to school at Crockett and Glenn. And then both of them graduated from Central High School. So yeah, we're kind of a SAISD family. My wife did not go to school here, but
we'll let that pass.
That's right.
Well, we're so proud to have our San Angelo ISD graduates that actually come back and contribute to the community. So thank you for serving in that way. We already kind of talked about why you chose to do that. What are some of the issues that public schools face that you in particular are passionate about?
Well, I think probably the thing that I'm most passionate about is us finding something that students can be real good at and let them celebrate success. So from a statewide standpoint, and state accountability is really important. It's important how we do on STAR testing. It's important how we do on other tests that the state provides for us to measure our student success. But what I'm proudest of at SAISD is that we have students that are successful in so many other ways, and we celebrate that. The other challenge that we have as a school district is making sure that all of our students are treated equally, that what's going on one side of town is going on another side of town. So we've got to make sure that we're treating all of our students equitable and making sure that they have equal access to a great education, which is, I'm proud to say that I think we do a really good job in San Angelo of educating all of our students, making them feel good about themselves and about our community.
Absolutely. We appreciate that you are championing all of our students. And, I think that is a challenge when you see any school district where you don't have just one high school and you have two high schools, and making sure that you are able to equitably serve your entire community. What was the most impactful thing you learned while serving on the board in these 20 plus years?
I guess the biggest thing is to make sure that you hire good people. Our role is not to be in the weeds and make sure that we're worried about bell times at Crockett Elementary School or something like that. We're supposed to be visionaries for the district. So the best thing that I learned is just to make sure that you hire great superintendents. So we have, I think Carol Ann Bonds was probably the first person that we really fought to bring to the district and make sure that she got here. And then we followed that up with Dr. Detloff. So we've had really good leaders. That's important. And then the board can really concentrate on what they're supposed to be doing, which is doing policy and hiring people and making sure that we have quality people in every role versus getting in the weeds and trying to run things that we don't need to be involved in. So if you have good leaders, that's the best way for a good board to work and work together.
Absolutely, and I can attest to that as an employee of San Angelo ISD. You know, we always say that our people make the difference, but that does come from top down. So I do appreciate that you and your team of board members has really worked to make sure that we have strong leaders, because it impacts all of us every single day to help that we can do what's best for the students. We really need strong leaders. So thank you for that.
I guess the other thing I learned is that no matter how great of an idea you have, if you don't have the consensus of the board, then you can't make anything really happen. So, for years I interviewed as the president of the board. I would talk to new board members and make sure that they knew that, hey, we're going to respect your opinion, but if you get to the point where you can't get along with your fellow board members, then you might lose support for ideas that you have. So we work as a team, and if you work as a team, then you can be successful.
Yeah, and that's another great point. We have a board that really truly does work together to do what's best for the students. Can you talk a little bit about just how you and the other board members work together through the years?
I think, first of all, I said it, you have to respect one another, but you have to like one another. I mean, you have to be, we spend a lot of time together, and we spend a lot of time working for the district, and in doing so, you have to understand where other people are coming from, make sure that you appreciate their thoughts and ideas, make sure that they have a venue and opportunity to bring those ideas forward, and that you respect what they're doing. Now, you might not agree, that's okay, but it's not okay not to respect someone. So I've learned a lot about that, and trying to lead through that is been a challenge for all of us.
Yeah, and we appreciate the different voices and the different perspectives that each one of you brings. That kind of brings us to the public education is truly important to the future of San Angelo, not just our community, but the state and nation. Why do you think that is?
Well, obviously education is our future. If we don't do a great job of educating all of our students, and I would emphasize public education is our future. You know, I don't begrudge people who choose to use other opportunities for education, but public education, if we don't have public education, then the future of our city and the future of our state will not be the same. We're trying to offer to our students a really engaging education that makes them ready for the future and gives them the confidence to face the future. You know, so if they feel good about themselves, they celebrate their success, then when they leave SAISD, then they're capable of really doing anything. The sky's the limit. So we have to engage all of our students and make sure that they recognize the opportunities that they have at SAISD.
Yeah, and speaking of opportunities, you and I were talking a little earlier about the career and technical education CTE courses that we offer at San Angelo ISD, and how that really works together with our community partners and our businesses to identify, needs in the community, as well as things that our kids excel at, and can celebrate ways that they're going to be successful. Can you kind of talk about maybe how you think public education helps support local businesses in that way?
Well, certainly, the best way for a local business to be engaged in SAISD is for them to hire our graduates and see what type of students that we're producing. Probably the businesses that support us the most are the ones that recognize that. And as a board member, my job is to be an advocate for the district and make sure that when our students leave, my daughters are, I brag a little bit, but they're highly successful. And the reason why they're successful, or at least a part of the reason why they're successful, is because they went to SAISD and were well prepared to enter the workforce. So we've got a number of opportunities for kids to find what they do best and give them opportunities to do that, whether it's welding to computer skills, all types of opportunities for students outside of reading, writing, and arithmetic for them to grow.
Well, it is neat to see them have opportunities to really excel at something that they're passionate about and that they individually are good at. So that's very neat. What are some hopes you have for San Angelo ISD students?
Well, we hope that they enter the workforce well prepared. We talk about our learner profile all the time, so we want students to be able to communicate. We want them to be able to work with others, so they got to be able to collaborate. They've got to be creative thinkers, so they've got to be able to think outside the box and do things that when they're presented with a challenge, that they're able to think about that challenge in different ways. And then certainly we want them to be creative. We want them to know that God made every one of them different, and in doing so, they have a lot of ability to change. So that's our learner profile. But we have a lot of opportunities for students to fully engage in education, not just, again, reading, writing, and arithmetic. We have a lot of opportunities for them elsewhere, and we're proud of the fact that we have a great mariachi program at Lakeview, and we're proud of the fact that we have STEM classes at Lakeview. We're proud of our gymnastics team at Central, and we're proud of, we had all of our debate kids the other day, and we've got debate kids that went to national championships and won, so we've got great programs throughout the district.
It is incredible. Our state champion gymnasts and the national competing speech and debate, those are absolutely wonderful programs, and we thank you so much for the support that you and the board have helped to really help us grow those programs. What do you love about San Angelo? It's a little step back here.
Yeah, it's tough. It's obviously my hometown, so I like that people have, I guess I call it a West Texas work ethic. I think people that have grown up here are friendly. They like the fact that they live in our community. They're willing to be engaged and support the community. I think I like the, growing up here, I like the opportunity that I had to spend time at a lake that nobody in West Texas has, so we ought to be proud of that. So there's lots of great things about our community, and I think SAISD is one of the great things about our community, and I'm really proud to have been able to serve in that manner for 20 plus years. But it's a great community and something that we should all be proud of. But we don't really see color in our community. I think we have a lot of people that we have a very diverse community, but not one that we don't choose sides one way or the other. We're all about trying to accomplish things for the city overall. And I think that's a real benefit of living here in San Angelo.
We just started launching with using a hashtag for San Angelo ISD that is We Are San Angelo. And it's because we feel that connection with the community and that our kiddos are truly the future of this community. So it's kind of reflected in what you're saying there. It's been absolutely wonderful to visit with you today. I cannot express the gratitude that San Angelo ISD and our whole West Texas community has for your many years of service. Again, we go back to that is a volunteer, unpaid position, and that I don't think, before I was with San Angelo ISD, I had no true understanding of the amount of time and energy and effort that you really put in that position. So we truly thank you for that, and it is a lasting legacy. So thank you for the impact that you've made on generations of San Angelo students, and that will continue on in the future. So thank you so much, and we hope that you learned a little bit more about Mr. Lanny Layman and our San Angelo ISD board members today. And we also remind families to always, go follow our Facebook page, our Twitter page, and, stay tuned to what's going on at our website at www.saisd.org. And thank you again, Mr. Layman.
Thanks for the opportunity.